Hello! Hello, hello. I don't know why I stopped midway through that. Just, ah! Oh god, that's a song. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Scorch. We're now live. Oh. Speak! Fuck you! Stop being a
Hi.
voice in my head.
Oh shit.
Oh, honk. Hello. Hello, hello. Thank you for the honk. Scorch. Wait a minute. It's you. Oh, God, that's some, like, bass. But hello, Junie. How are you?
Benji, you are muted in Discord.
That's hilarious. That's why you weren't talking to me.
Yeah. That's why there was like a good few seconds delay.
Oh, well, hello, hello. Hi, Pika. How are you, my dear? I'm stupid. I'm stupid.
Don't worry, me too.
I did a dumb. Shall we just get straight into it? Because fuck me. That was so dumb.
Let's see if we can get any more clip-worthy moments today.
Ooh, don't know about that. We'll see. Actually, I'm gonna put chat over by me. There you go. I am good, Pika. How are you? This guy's very charred. Right, what were we doing? We're looking for the Druid boy, right?
We are looking for Halcyon.
Yes. We need to go say
yeah,
hi to Auntie Ethel and her house. We killed these guys because they were bad.
They were looking for people that survived the crash ship, and we said, "Oh, that's us." And then they went, "Ah, fuck, attack them."
Yes. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I'm just tagging along. I want to see where you take us.
There's an open coffin. There's some boots. And there's some wisp weed. How do I interact with it? There you go. Hey, Ali. How are you, my dear? There's that. An open coffin.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
Oh, I don't know if it's just for me, but Karlak for a moment did seem to just be sliding.
She be skilling. Is it just an open coffin? Nothing else? Oh. I see like
there is a wooden spoon in it.
there's a wooden spoon in the coffin.
Yes.
Free wooden spoon. Right, let's go have a look down here.
Here goes nothing.
I'm so cute. I'm
Owlbear tracks.
Oh.
Its nest must be nearby.
You want to go into the owlbear cave or not?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna have a look. If there's an owlbear, or if I sense an owlbear, I'm getting the fuck out. Well, there's a skeleton. What's the sneak button again? C.
C, or shift C if you want to do both of your party moves at once.
Yes. We're going to be sneaky. You still groggy from the morning, are you, Ali? Bless you. Free pick. There's an eviscerated goblin. God. Tasty.
That stench. Dead owlbear prey, no doubt.
There's also a heavy stone. But where the fuck
It's
is...
literally a stone.
Okay. It may be a magical stone.
No, it's literally just a big stone.
But...
You can throw it or you can sell it for 1 gold.
Ah, that's fair. What's that over there? It looks like... stuff.
Stuff?
Yeah, there's like potions and shit.
Oh, that way. Sorry, I had to look at your stream to see where you were looking.
Yeah, sorry. What caffeine have you been eating? My hand is glowing. It's really good for sneaky.
So sneak.
Yeah. No one expects a glowing hand.
Looks like a shrine to Seluna over there.
A shrine to Seluna?
Oh. That's gonna kill me.
magical seal.
This thing will yield its
No, not
content
picking that.
easily.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
don't keep doing that.
Do we have a dispel magic?
Well, I know the secret of this. Hey, look, a Selûnite prayer sheet.
Oh. You know that potion of healing I just got for grabbing? I'm going to now use that. Can I take the
Because
incense?
you touched the thing more than
Fuck.
once. Yeah, no, I need to be over here. I read the sheet and then I can open it.
Oh, okay.
You should leave it, or even
Oh,
destroy it if possible.
Shadowheart has an opinion.
This rubbish is an
Oh, let's see if
offense
chat
to
can
Luna.
work with this.
At best, it's worthless. At worst, who knows? Could be cursed.
Because I can enable it for
Trifling with that
voting.
moon witch will only bring you trouble.
Yes, you can.
Shah's guidance is clear.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, everyone, try this out. I believe via the interface you can vote. I hope so anyway. Otherwise. Did it work?
I don't know. Let me try putting in a vote because stream delay. So far we've got one.
Oh, we got 100% people want persuasion. Okay, well, he is pretty charismatic.
Particularly since
Oh!
well, Nat 20 will definitely do it. But I
Perhaps you can sell them for a couple of
I
coins.
respect him to be multi-class bard. Remember?
Yes, true. Very true. Sorry, thank you everyone for trying that out. That was really cool. I've just realised chat needs to go up a little bit more. There you go. Because when we're doing stuff and things pop up on the screen, yeah. Wait, why is this not? No, it works. Yeah, fuck it, that can go there.
Okay.
Sorry guys, just playing with myself.
Oh my!
No, well, a little bit. I'm hot. It's fine. Right. Sorry, chat. Pepsi, but Pepsi has as much caffeine as a cup of coffee, so you've had about 3 cups. Okay, that's not too bad. Thing is, with Pepsi, I don't think it's too bad caffeine. Like, it's caffeine flavour, which happens to have a not a nicotine improvement, but like a caffeinated improvement, where
Everyone else minds their business. I'll be
I
fine.
feel like coffee is like depends on the coffee, but most coffee is. Oh, there's red. You know what I'm gonna do?
Not mean to ping.
I'm going to just... There you go. And also just... There you go. Oh shit, that is an owlbear. Fuck!
Okay, other way.
Hang on. How big is it? It's 82.
a
It's
full
distressed. Do you think I can talk to it?
Do you have... You do have Speak with Animals up, so you may be able to speak with them.
Can I make Karlak stay here?
Yes, if you hit G, you uncouple them.
Okay, we're uncoupled. I'm going to go try speak to the owlbear. Also, Zora,
Okay.
that is such a compliment. Thank you so fucking much. Like, you're what I need right now. Thank you. Okay, can I... Am I going to... I'm going to get fucking murdered. Oh?
You feel the quake of its heavy footsteps before you see it.
Oh, shit. That's so big. Oh, shit. Oh, I think I fucked up here.
What's this? Something weak, something tender.
It's talking to me.
Won't even have to chew you before I feed you to my son. Soft
I
meat.
want it. It's cute.
It's a splinter. I've gutted bigger threats than you with worse.
Oh, fuck.
See, that's what we need, Ali. We just need to.
Here you
keep
go.
rolling our
Right.
20s.
I'm going to again. I know which one I want to go for, but I'm very curious which chat is going to go for. But also, Ninja, how's it going, man? No, hello. But yeah, vote what you want, chat. Okay, we got a druid persuasion. That's nice. Someone's been nice. It did work out last time, Ali. That's very true. Okay, we just got to... Who the fuck just went attack? You fucker.
Knowing us, Damberg.
Damberg, yeah. It's Damberg. Hey,
Oh,
Heidi.
hey, Heidi.
Can this work? There you go. I don't know what this is. Damberg made it, but there you go, Heidi. I'm only going to be nice because I like monsters. If it was human, I'd go with 1. Oh, don't worry, Zera. Every time I've played this game so far, I want to fucking murder everyone.
I've had to talk Benji down a couple of times.
I maybe should have done like an evil run, to be honest, because the amount of times I'm like, well, fuck you, I'm going to stab you.
No, that's playthrough 2, Benji. That's Dark Urge.
Yeah, I like the owlbear as well. Okay, I think maybe this is light urge then.
Plaything, not worth the trouble.
You could have voted if you wanted
You
Heidi.
make one wrong step and
When
I'll
we
rip
get to
you
like
shreds.
It's friends.
interesting conversations.
It kind of friends.
It's not going to immediately eat you, but maybe you should back off.
How do I change my camera angle? Because I've just gone super top down.
Oh,
Oh. Ah, there you go. Thank you.
Yep, I did that as well. It's just like, what is this?
Oh, but
yes,
there's a
tactical.
baby!
There is a baby. We leave them alone because the mother gets real defensive, and we come back later.
Okay. Okay. I like the mum. Mum's kind of chill.
You know, for an owlbear.
Owlbears are chill. I like it. I like being a druid. This nature shit is kind of, you know, useful. Like, hey, I can talk to this thing. Cool.
Yep. There is also another person. Another person that you can talk to with your speak with animals quite near us. Would you like me to guide you to a good boy?
We've already spoken to the dog.
Have we?
Yeah, he's back at the camp.
Oh, of course, we had to speak to him to get Carla. Well, we didn't have to speak to him to get Carla.
But he was on the way.
In which case, do you want to go up into the Goblin Village?
Maybe. If you give me just a second, the Field Master's just got back from work, so I'm going to quickly say hello. So I'm just going to put this on the Be Right Back screen and play some music. So 1 second, everyone.
Huzzah!
Hello, everyone. Thank you for waiting. That was just a quickie. So, Alistair, I want you to try and guess what your favourite party member is. It the owlbear, Alistair? No more adorable than you. Oh, Zora, by the way, Ali is an easy target. Just to let you know. Why is my game not showing? Hello? There you go. What? Okay.
I don't know.
So we did... Okay, where are we? We murdered those guys. We walked to the cave. Let's go up this way. But
Okay.
that's where we murdered the people. No. Where do we go?
This way. Oh look, here's a corpse we made earlier.
Was that what we made? Oh,
Yes.
wait, it's this dickhead. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
That dickhead. Yep,
Yeah.
that dickhead.
Oh, Ali, is your... of course, Heidi as well. Thank you. Why am I so bad at perceiving as a druid?
Because random rolls. So we can either go into the town, in which case we can either talk to goblins, or we can try and fight our way through them, or we can keep going to the south, which is this way, which will lead us to a wonderful little forest.
Is that what Ethel
And
is?
on to Ethel. Yes, that is Ethel.
Oh.
So, goblins or Ethel?
Chat, goblins or Ethel? Grandma or goblins? Let's also think about cargo, which is investigate the swamp.
Yes.
The main one, I believe. Oh, are we being all lovely to Alistair? Fantastic.
Oh, Ali is saying slay them goblins.
Okay. Okay. Oh
Oh,
no,
no, the
goblins.
goblins,
Severe racist intent.
It's not racism if they're... Wait a minute.
It is because they're goblins and they are. I mean, no one else is saying anything, so I think we just, you know, get that like red eye moment. Oh my god! Chat's just like, right,
All
lock and
right,
load, people.
facing the goblins.
Hang on, there's stuff here.
Oh,
Oh,
I did not mean to start talking.
shut up, Shart.
Oh,
Over there! Surround them like!
Oh, what are you going for?
I don't know.
You spotted us!
Hang on.
It's like they say. No fun in skewing a pig what doesn't know he's cooked.
Hang on, what's... Yes. Go politely fuck yourself.
We got you surrounded. Here's how this goes. You take one step further, and we'll fill your front with arrows. Or you turn around, and your backside gets the same treatment.
A strange symbol glows, marked
I
on their
want
flesh,
to fawn whip
and
this goblin
something
off the
within me
roof.
stirs in response.
Okay, but I feel like we need to put this one down to chat because there is
Oh,
an illithid option.
there is. Alistair, am I your favourite? Because I've got a silver tongue, both verbally and otherwise.
It's the twink, isn't it?
It's going to be the twink, yeah. I'm not a twink. Thomas! Woo! I'm good, my friend. How the devil are you? Honk! Yes, the Thomas honk. The Thomas honk of power.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we're getting a bit of a split going.
Yeah, it's not a massive split.
Oh,
Okay. I feel like we're going to tell him to stand down. Yes, the vampire one. The you know, after realistically you watching Krolos and talking
Okay.
about vampires for like 4 hours. Yes, the vampire.
okay. So I guess it's brainworm time.
Ah, I love hentai.
No, brainworm, not butt.
Hentai. I have seen enough hentai.
I needed a 2. I got a 22.
I think I just about made it.
You're a true soul. But my mistake, sir.
I'm still going to
A
skull
shiver
fuck you.
runs across your mind. You feel sated.
No more
Thank you,
trouble from
Heidi.
us, promise.
I will do my best. Heidi, become the Dom, top energy for the win. Thomas has said, I'm doing good. I've done server management shit. I need to do 28th. By the way, Thomas, do you use a server box or do you use a hosted server? Well, Ali, my dear, don't worry. At some point, you're going to be kneeling in front of me saying, thank you very much, my favourite person. Or at least favourite pigeon. Like, either way, it's a win for me. I'm going to go murder some goblins.
Let's see.
Because they're not gobbling on these nuts. Do I have nuts? Maybe.
Well, I mean, you say that. There's
Ooh, a key.
also some... Oh. Oh, man, I failed that. Time to use another thieves tool. There are some goblins up towards the windmill if you want to do a murder there.
Yeah, let's go do the murder. Hang on, barrels.
Need to practice a nice bit of barrelmancy.
Yes, for your game server. Zora, I'm not even a... Well, I am a pigeon, but I am a being of eldritch power who also is insatiably horny. Teehee. Maybe I should have blushed that one. Thank you, Heidi. See you in a wee bit. Oh, what's that?
What?
Why are they all shouting? I got distracted. Have a wonderful time in D&D, Heidi.
They're shouting because they have a friend.
Oh, do they?
Look what we got here. Another little birdie wanting to fly.
What's wrong with birdies?
Stop this thing!
Oh, is that a note? Is that a halfling?
That's a deep gnome.
I'll feed you a worm. And you. Hope you got a stomach for ice. What's it bloody look like? We're teaching this here pipsqueak.
Oh, I can't wait to kill this guy.
Fly. Cause it makes me laugh.
The only eldritch power you have is the power of quantum cringe. You can cringe people out of any distance instantly. Exactly, Zara. I'm still eldritch powered. It won't interfere. I just want to bust by. It does look funny on it.
We ain't looking for company, maggot. Not unless you want to join him.
Man, he used the hard M.
Yeah, wow.
How about this? You pay a toll and go on as you like, or else you fly. Cough it up!
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Oh, that's how it is it?
Murder time. Wow, I rolled a 3. Did you know we are all named characters unlike you? I have some bad news, buddy. Twink attack.
Powers activate. Num 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 num.
I cast Twink.
It's super effective.
Man, Karlak, are you okay? Are you sleeping? Girl. Damn.
But she just wasn't prepared.
Just EP.
Right. Let's roll.
It murder hobo time. But I'll use host havoc. Thomas, have you ever thought about using a server box or setting one up at all? So I'm thinking about getting a server box for the flock and then just hosting things like how the 51st do it, admittedly. Well, how I set it up for the 51st. Is that guy still spinning?
Yes.
Oh, there he is! Man, that's...
Ow!
No, my twink.
Your twink. Oh my.
You're all mine. I own all of you. Bad dog. Don't make me remind you of what I did to the last dog. Did he just throw a grenade? What the fuck?
I think so. 3 of the party are down.
What the fuck did that guy just do? Oh fuck!
I don't.
Karlak, stop dying. What the actual fuck just happened? Are they attacking the?
Yeah, they're
spiritual-
attacking the spiritual weapon. In this, it has a stat point, like an actual stat block, so it can.
Oh
be hurt.
well, fuck. That was meant for you.
Yeah, you need to select throw before you select.
I'm
the
gonna
potion.
get shot up. Oh wait, do I not have healing word? I do.
Because you drank a potion, that's a bonus action.
Oh, that's annoying.
Anything for a
Well, I can take it, maybe. Oh fuck! Wow, I can't take it.
Okay,
let's try that
maybe
again.
reload.
Yep. I can't believe that guy just put out a fucking hand grenade and just ended us. Oh god, there was not even a bit of foreplay to that. That was just get fucked. And yes, Juniper, I do. Oh, and by the way, everyone, just suddenly bang. Oh fuck, we're back here.
Wait,
Have we
where
done
are
this?
you?
I'm in the cave.
Uh-oh.
Let's see what this does.
Do you think I've spoken to the?
Flowers, leaves.
No, not yet, because I was outside the cave.
Oh, okay. So we got to go in and do the owl bear. Okay, I'll go quickly do that.
Moving ahead.
Oh, I see. You're there. Yeah.
A statue.
I'll let you do the religious bits, and I will not touch that.
Honor, even for the likes of her.
Okay, right. Run. Oh, Zora, what food did you get? Post pics. I'm hungry as fuck.
Symbol next to it.
Oh, I want
Saying
chicken.
a few words won't hurt.
What kind of chicken? Fried chicken?
Fried chicken. Okay, let's find out if this guy's friendly or
You
not.
feel the
Okay.
What's this?
Hello.
It's a splinter.
Alright, we're
But I've got
druids.
a bigger
Hello,
threat
yes.
than you with
We're friendly. Oh, fuck. Exactly, Junie.
Fight? You'd be a
Good
beacon
girls follow
girl, but
orders.
you make one wrong step and I'll rip you to shreds.
Right, you know what I'm going to do now? Get the fuck out of here. And then save it as soon as we're out the cave. What's this quick save button?
I think it's F5?
Yes. That's good.
I'm just gonna pick up all this stuff again. Because, you know, it's worth money.
Yeah.
Money.
I'm an eldritch horror, haha.
Teehee!
Pedro, yeah. Hey, Danberg. Oh, there you go. We saved. We got to go up the hill to kill some goblins. We got to kill the one with the fucking hand grenade first, though. I'm like, fuck.
Do you want me to brainworm my way through that goblin speech again, or should we just try and murder?
Probably brainworm would be useful. So I feel like we're going to get attacked otherwise.
Let's have a look. Something's waiting up ahead.
Oh. Hey, Xeno man. How's it going? Look, I'm not doing Final Fantasy. I'm playing Baldur's Gate. We're Scotch. Can I dance? Is there a dance button?
Unfortunately, no.
Sorry.
Unfortunately not.
I'm
just
super
wondering why we
paranoid now.
paused for a moment.
Whole village.
Alright. Go brain one them.
No fun in skewing a pig what doesn't know he's cooked. We got you, Sarah.
Strange symbol glows.
That's fine. I know you're not a massive fan of Final Fantasy, mate. Don't worry.
And something
Oh, you got
within you
advantage.
stirs.
Oh, we could. Oh, nat 20. Let's go.
A shiver.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. He's the talented one.
Okay, there
I'm
we go.
using his talent for my game. There's a key over here. I'm going to run back over here and try to find that key. Oh, there's a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Could be good for camp. Oh, Scorch your daddy, are you?
Might be useful.
Oh my. I'll have you know, I'm in fact a devious bastard.
He is truly the most devious bastard. In
Look,
New
I've
York
even got my-
City.
I've even got a witch's hat on. I can feel the arsehole on my head.
Oh, I really hope everyone's watched What We Do in the Shadows.
It's
Oh, Saloon
super
Night
stupid
necklace.
and I love it.
Looks like
Oh yes, let's chuck that at you again. You've got a helmet, if you would like.
Oh. What sort of helmet? Oh. Momentum free. That's probably better for Karlak, no?
Increases movement speed, so it's good for anyone, really.
I'm going to say Karlak so she can, like, fuck shit up.
Fair. Alright. Lead on, my man.
Hang on. Chuck that on. Take. Oh. How do I take that hand off? There you go. There you go. Okay, right. First, I'm an Eldritch Rarity. He. Oh! Why does that make you more happy to be here, Ali?
where to?
Because.
Shadows don't suit me.
Do. Oh, wait, Karlak, what are you doing?
You have the wrong character selected.
Hello.
Have a lot on my mind.
Okay, there you go.
Stop!
Yeah, very funny. Tee hee 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 hee. Fuck you.
What?
Ah!
Fuck you, that's what.
And, you know what? Karlak is inspired.
Mushroom dance, go. Oh.
No. We murdered him so quickly, the old goblins just went, no.
Yep, that's
No,
fair.
I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Fuck this guy, am I right? Oh my god, he's got a... He had summon.
Let me chuck that at Karlak.
Ali, is it because of the tentacles, or is it because of the possession, or is it because of the corruption, or... Come on, I need a bit more comments. I need something to work with. Right, let's go fresh.
Somewhere to camp soon.
You know what would be really funny? If we can make
What?
this, like, go faster before we stop him.
Ah, well, you technically
There is a release brake
can-
lever.
Yes, there is a brake lever and a release
Oh,
brake
why am I
lever.
going up? I want to go back down.
So, if you do brake, that stops it. If you do release brake, it spins it so fast he gets thrown.
Oh, I already hit it, so fuck this guy. We're now on the gnome. Oh, fucking hell. I mean, tee, I'm a good guy. Oh, now I'm got this. Oh, a bow?
So, just to let you know, because we launched him, we have cut off an entire side quest chain.
Oh, what was the side quest?
It had to do with other deep gnomes.
Oh. Ooh, grilled ribs. And a bottle of grease. I'm ready for a good night out. I don't hate gnomes, they're just not people.
Anyway, I'm gonna go grab his shit.
Oh, is he in the hole?
No. His stuff is in here,
Oh, sweet loot.
What's in here?
including a satchel of smoke powder.
And some rotten chicken eggs and some rotten cheese. You don't really want that. But this pitchfork, you know, that's a thing. What's a shattered? I can't add a shattered wine barrel to inventory. But can Karlach? No.
Still alive.
1 second.
So that's progress.
For throwable things, I had chucked something quite fun into Karlach's inventory.
What's she got? Smoke powder. What? That's a hand grenade.
Yes, it is.
That's just.
At
You've
least
given
it's
me
interesting.
I've given Karlach a hand grenade.
my giveaway bot. Oh shit! Thank you. Good girl. Thank you. Fuck! I can't spell. Let me get rid of that. Just brain cell. There you go. Alright, get rid of that timer. There you go. Now to carry on.
How much further can I go?
Keep calm and play Baldur's Gate.
Keep calm and fuck the twink. I mean, what?
I mean, I can do, but like... Right, so we killed the goblins. There's more goblins down there. I feel like if we try to murder all the goblins, it's gonna be difficult. But you know what? Sometimes the difficult ones are the best ones.
It may be difficult.
We need to level up.
However,
we need a leveling... Oh, there's a circle here.
there is. So we can teleport back here if need be.
That seems useful.
Right. So we've got.
If you want to keep your insides on the inside,
Sorry, was that a threat?
scram.
That's a friendly looking.
We're having the same idea.
Ah. I was getting ready with my club.
Nobody saw anything. Okay, so we've got the ogres over that way.
Yeah.
We've got underneath the apothecary and underneath the blacksmith if we want to do the spooky book. And then
Spooky
just
book?
there is a spooky book. Yes.
I like the idea of a spooky book. Is it this way?
No. That's the way to Auntie Ethel.
Like trash.
Well,
Then keep looking.
Yes, there are more goblins over there, but they are currently okay with it. Never mind.
I slipped. Man, my Halo Sports is not doing well.
I mean, we are level 3.
Oh, Ali, we are going to get on very, very well. Can I get Salmon to what level?
Knees high.
Wondering if I should rage. No,
How many rages you got?
2, but I got reckless attack, so. Nah, screw it. Ah, what the fuck? My spores. Get them. Oh, that was
Well,
cool.
save against Sacred Flame, not against the spores.
Get them, mushroom. But Ali, that is so. Deems me whether it was time, like a guest, undying nature of natural sorrow crosses wires in my brain. Does the corruption and possession and almost like
Still breathing.
the inability of control, I assume, take a bonus to you as well, then, Ali.
Moving in.
Cool. Goblin Extermination Squad. Where's the spooky book then?
It's under the apothecaries, which
Ah.
is the building we're right next to.
Oh, look at that. That was lucky. Right, let me just reload my staff.
Just imagining like the sound of a racking shotgun.
So, Ali, the thought of eldritch tentacles slowly wrapping around your mind, clogging your judgments, hazing your minds, clouding any ability to think straight as it slowly corrupts you, is a good win for you then, is it?
I would tell you to stop being horny on main, but that's
I
like
don't even
half your
I don't even
personality.
think that's being horny. I'm just on about the corruption of an eldritch brain onto one's brain. Like, if I was being horny, I would describe more around the whole body. But if it's just the brain and the tendrils slowly corrupting and changing thoughts and abilities to think, that's more just corruption. I use tentacles as like a metaphorical word. It's not tentacles. It's more like the clouding and the fogging and the sort of like the slowly tearing at your sanity and your cognitive being. I fucking love Cthulhu and Mythos and Eldritch Horror.
And there are so many ingredients to loot here.
Yeah, I'm just grabbing all of it. Oh, I just found 3 potions of healing. Damn.
Anything of use?
I mean, this was an apothecary place.
Yeah, that does seem like a good thing. Wow, you're in luck. That is a barrel of water. Karlak.
What's the story? Can't give up now. Copper for your thoughts?
Nope.
Nope. I was hoping her being
Rest.
wet, like Ali, would fix things. See, that was
No,
horny
I-
on main. That one I will accept. Rags, destitute, very, very close. But no, I love the idea of
Never wanted the easy path.
Eldritch
corruption.
Abominations.
Eldritch Abomination and corruption. Like, it's yeah, it is a big. Oh,
What's that?
What is that?
pour the lever, me. Correct lever. Oh, I've got my hands on the wrong keys. I need to run a Call of Cthulhu game, but I do feel like I'm going to break people. Is this spooky?
Oh.
Mouldering casket, which has HP. Hang on.
I mean, the nearest casket actually has a friend in it.
Oh,
As
does
in
it?
an actual friend.
Okay, we'll go say hello.
1 second. I will throw the friend into your inventory.
What is it? What's this?
Our friend.
Oh, shit-pilling toe rag! Never summoned shovel! Never
Shovel.
cool shovel!
Who wants to be my
Recognise
pet?
The tiny fiend, a quasit. Wicked creatures, often used
What is
as
this fucking thing?
familiars.
It's Shuffle.
You're not Illy.
Hello, Shovel.
My master. Tall, skinny, prick with ears. So, you're Shovel's master now. Fine. Master Illy calls me Shovel. Don't like it? Change it.
Oh. Fork. I kind of like basket. But I think shovel. Why shovel?
It's just what he was called. He was also buried with a shovel.
Oh. Shovel's fine.
So, what first, master? Attracting locals, raising the dead, making them walk, making them scream.
Oh, you're my friend now.
Yes! Master Copper! More fun than Illy. Illy's so busy. Only cares about the book. Book this, book that. Oh!
Ali, do you think you get to decide what a being greater than yourself will do to you? You're entirely incorrect.
Oh, Master should go see. Talk to the mirror.
Shovel is a
Remember,
gremlin.
Balsam,
Do we like gremlins?
good for burns.
It's not good for burns, I'm going to tell you now. It's...
What is? Oh. Huh. There was a bad guy. What the fucking 360'd you? Buddy.
He brought friends.
Ah. Shovel. Wow, there's a lot here. Fuck. Sup, Zora? I've accidentally summoned the zombie horde.
Skeleton, not zombies.
Sorry, skeletal horde. Fucking hell, there's a lot of them. Well, fuck this guy. What?
Jesus, we cannot hit this fucker.
Why?
Well, you hit him there.
Bugger. Oh. What the fuck, lads? Carla, get angry.
You're not gonna like this, mate.
You're not going to like this, mate. No, you are entirely correct, Carla.
This way. Run away, Shadowheart.
Carla, fuck him up. Ow, fuck. Stop shooting Karlak.
Oh, wait. Benji, when it gets around to your next turn,
Yeah.
there's something that might be able to swing how this battle goes in your inventory that you might be able to throw.
As in Karlak,
What?
throw, you mean?
I don't know whose inventory it's in, yours or Karlak's.
Is it the holy hand grenade? It's Karlak.
Is it Karlak has the smoke powder?
Yes.
There is something else in your inventory, I believe.
Ah.
Yes, the iron flask. You could throw that if you wanted.
I was told not to throw it.
That was before we had a long rest.
Oh. Now we got this.
And
Go,
now-
shovel. Kick his ass.
No, twink down. Twink
Again.
down.
Oh no. Twink death.
Wait.
What happened? Are you alive?
Oh, he's got the effect Arrow of Ilmata on him. That means he can't actually be healed for a turn.
Oh.
I've got it.
Oh, son of a bitch. That's a spell slot wasted.
Oh. Well, at least we know now. We may have to have a nap after this. This is going roughly. Oh, well, there you go. Could you please stop shooting us with arrows, you colossal fuck? Go shovel! Ooh, go shovel.
Don't shoot the goth girlfriend.
Exactly.
Okay, the twink is alive again.
Karlak is alive. A little bit worse for wear, but is alive. Where's the last one?
No.
Oh, there's two. There's one here and one here. Okay. Oh!
Yup.
Goth girlfriend is down. Wait, where's this guy shooting from? One there. One there. Oh!
Oh shit! Yep. Up there.
Okay, yeah.
Go twink. I choose you.
By the power of twinks. Karlak,
I don't know what to
fuck this
do
archer.
actually.
Go stab the archer behind us. I think there's only what, 2? Yeah, go stab the archer. I'll focus on this guy next to me and hopefully we'll kill them.
The twink will survive.
Sharp won't.
Well, shit.
What's your mind on, Ali?
Calcium communists, pony boys. Not the skeleton. Skirt, skirt.
Or is it because you want to be bit, Ali? Is that what I'm getting from this? But you, Skelly Bob. Man. Shovel! No! What's your mind on it, Ali?
Vampires, probably.
True. Yeah, sounds good to me. Oh, she'll go prone.
Well, no, there's a chance she'll go prone.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Incoming.
Come here, motherfucker. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
It's it.
I
No,
think
Karen.
it's time for a rest.
Yeah.
The real question is, what kind of a rest?
How are your spell slots and stuff looking? Oh, what did you get? Yeah, let's have a long rest. I will hit F5 and then we'll long rest. Actually, let's quickly loot before I forget. That's
Yes.
good.
Also, if you come over here a bit, you may spot something that I couldn't spot.
Okay, let me just go grab some bits now.
Always room for more. Something good here, I hope.
Actually, Ali, is it werewolves by any chance? Before I see anything from you.
Light on my feet.
All right, where am I looking? Next to you.
Yes.
Something over there.
Ah.
Magic. Sent you 2 images.
Okay, I'm just having a look now. Hang on one sec. Is that what you've been having on your mind? Just that sort of... Not werewolves, so they are... I can understand why, you know. I can't think, you know, there's not a reason I can think of why you would not want to think of vampires. Haha, wink wink. Not vampires, werewolves. Let's go and have a long rest. Long rest. So, is it because you want the transformation then, Ali? Fucking you in your pants. Zara, no. Everyone's in their pants. Why is everyone in their pants?
I forgot that I took their camp clothes off.
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
Hello, good boy. Oh, who's such a good boy? He's just a good boy. Oh, well, don't worry, Ali. That's part of your corruption, isn't it? Being formed into whatever the being who is changing you can choose. Usually it's fish people. But probably not fish people in this instance.
Speaking of fish people, there may be a chance later to find some fish people. Okay, do I actually have clothes for Astarion to wear? No, I do not.
I have some. Hang on. Where's the Astarion? There he is.
Oh.
Actually, that kind of works. Sort of like little trash boy.
He's a trash man.
He's the trash man. I climb in the ring and throw trash everywhere.
Before we do that, I'm going to see if anyone wants to chat.
I don't think so.
Oh, Gale looks like... Yeah, he's got arcane hunger, so I'm going to give him a magic item.
What have you got? Hang on, let's see if I got anything. I got a silver pendant, which gives guidance. That's actually really useful. I'm keeping that. Sorry, Gale.
Pendant...
Hey, good looking.
Yeah, he's called me good looking.
Ring of colour spray. We're never going to remember to use that, so...
No. I've just given myself a guidance necklace.
Oh, ad starting in about 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Ad time, everyone. I do have a fucking hilarious meme I made of a werewolf character, but I don't know if it's not safe for work friendly or not too much. Send it to me and I'll have a look, mate. That's no problem at all. Why does my game keep minimizing?
I don't know.
It's on full screen, not borderless window. There you go. Weird.
There are important matters. Somehow the second artifact hasn't had the effect of the first. Somewhat relieved the discomfort. You do plenty for me, more than you realize. But this cannot be remedied. The magic isn't having the effect it should have. It's not like
good being a
last
sub,
time,
isn't it?
Like a rainstorm that quells a forest fire.
I highly recommend
Drizzles.
it to people. Not for me.
The embers still
But, you
sizzle.
know.
The fire remains undefeated. I'm not certain what's going on, but nothing good. Please, I need to...
Kaon from TCC being bare at the top of the weakness list. Oh. Being near the top of the weakness. Is Kaon the butler werewolf person?
Make haste. I would have
something's
words
worse.
with you.
Maybe not for maybe not, but it is quite funny. The thing is, I get it. I can definitely get that one. Like, I would. Who doesn't want, like, a werewolf butler? Why do we have a pizza?
Oh, I think that's one of the ones I got from my camp chest.
It's pizza?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's pretty
and
chill.
still on fire while you're sleeping.
Oh. Man, it was really awkward when I tried to jerk off earlier. A bit toasty. Oh, wait. No, I can't talk to the good boy. Hang on.
Cast the spell, then talk to the pup.
Come here, puppy. Here, puppy, puppy, puppy.
Hope you're keeping well.
Yeah, friend. Good boy. Good puppy. Such a good puppy. Yes. It's a good puppy. Right. Time to carry on the shovel. I will also go pet shovel.
Go on, mirror nose.
Okay.
He won't give you any more voice lines until we leave. No, that's the magic mirror that allows you to change your appearance.
Oh, okay.
Should mind my step.
So
Leave camp.
Leave camp.
Is that because
I have a conversation with Shadowheart?
Oh, go for it.
There's something I've been wanting to share with you, if now's a good time.
Carry on,
It's
I'll be
difficult to
back in
put
just a
into
second.
words. I think it
We
might
all
be
do,
easier
Junie.
to just show you. Use the tadpole. The connection. Come into my mind.
Looks like we're going into her mind.
I'm sure. I trust you.
You and me both,
Don't remember
Juniper.
how it started. Only how it ended. I was fleeing.
The Wolf.
She asked my name. Can't remember what I said.
Wow,
Can't
this is some
remember
religious
anything
trauma.
before those words.
I was off going to order a chippy.
All I know is she saved my life and gave me a new home with Lady Shah. It hurts. That's all I remember. Normally I'd agree. But
Any
with you,
volunteers?
It's getting easier by the moment.
Karlak volunteers. You might be a bit spicy though.
I like spicy.
Pain is the gauntlet that all who love Lady Shah must endure. Only her embrace can truly heal me.
Being swallowed
try and-
whole alley.
Salve myself would do nothing but shame me in the Night Singer's eyes.
Having the full and complete devouring of a hungry bird. I'm letting you guide this because this is quite cool. I'm quite fun. I'm myself having fun watching this.
Ah, the twink is just so charismatic.
Perhaps you're right. But there's little we can do about it just now. Maybe a way will present itself in time if Lady Shah wills it.
Religious trauma.
Woo! Oh man.
So,
Ellie doesn't want me to like corrupt them fully. Bullshit. I'm just trying to think what to eat. Fish and like, I'm ordering fish and chips. Everyone, what should I get?
Fish and chips with curry sauce.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very good choice. Gets my senses going, and there's a little direct, isn't it? I like him hot and arrogant. I'm also into furries.
Wait, what?
Like and responds with, "That's on me. I didn't explain myself clearly enough. What I was meant to say was, how do you like your noodles?"
Okay, so proper chippy chips are a lot thicker than fries.
Yeah.
Because fries will often be the very thin things. They're what you might call, what Americans might call steak chips or steak fries. But it's also still different because there's a particular way that chippies do it that it's different from like a steakhouse.
Pigeon needs sacrifice. Pigeon needs sacrificial lamb.
But that being said, mayo is not a bad choice.
Good choice, but not with chippy chips.
Yeah, because normally you go salt and vinegar on the chippy chips, which means there's not things like mayo don't go as well with them. Haddock chips, curry sauce, salt and vinegar. That's Junie's speaking truth there. That the classic. Well, the true classic would be cod, but cod haddock is good. Yeah, fair.
I'm trying to order fish and chips, but I think they fucked up their Deliveroo because it's £9.50 for a cod, but if I select medium, it adds £8.50, and I'm like,
Wait a minute.
Well, I think it's meant to be £8.50, and if you want a large cod, it's £9.50, but they fucked up their order, so I may not order from there, which is a shame because I do like that one.
I tell you what, weirdly, I prefer smoked haddock to regular haddock.
Understandable, yeah. I
really like haddock and cod as a classic from a fish and chip shop. The other classic being, well, obviously haddock, but then you've got plaice as well.
Yeah.
Not many places will do plaice, though.
Funny words.
I know.
I like your funny words, magic man. Alright, let's have a look at cod. Can I get snack size cod and chips? Boom. Create new basket. Boom. I want cod. I just want a regular cod. Yes, because... Why is cod £19?
Jesus Christ!
No, like, I think something's fucked up. I think basically the old system on Deliveroo's fucked up. So regular is £9.50, but you add £9.50 for regular. So I think they've cocked up there.
Scampi is a good one if you're in the mood for scampi. I do like a little bit of Nephrops norvegicus myself.
Oh, fucking fish nerd.
Hey, look, it's one of the things I can remember from my fucking degree, okay?
Just walking over and you're like, hey, baby, I want some nuffs for our two snackadopoulos.
No, Nephrops norvegicus.
Same, but different.
Nephrops meaning from the same family as lobsters, norvegicus, Norwegian. Because scampi is also known as the Norwegian lobster. Oh, actually, yeah, instead of curry sauce, tartar is a good choice as well.
Tartar is a good shout, but I can't get tartar.
Well, they just don't do it.
I don't think so here, let me check.
And if they do, it will probably be expensive.
Yeah.
It is a type of shellfish, which is
what is?
Well, proper scampi is, but some places just use like offcuts of cod and the like instead, which is why you need to differentiate between just regular scampi and whole-tail scampi. Whole-tail scampi is the shellfish.
Yeah. And just a note on that, something you have to keep in mind that when you're looking through the images of this product, it's fully official and sometimes, however, some self-promoted. Are you sending more, are you? Oh, yes, I can see why people would be grinding on that. I probably would. I mean, that's going to make all the puppies bark, if you get what
Yes,
I mean.
Zora, you did come back to shellfish talk.
It's quite shellfish of you to leave, though. Where's my battered sausage? Battered? Fucking hell, sorry.
Battered sausage?
Yeah, I didn't mean to say it like that. Where's that there battered sausage?
I love me a battered sausage.
Oh, it's proper West Country, then.
I love the fact that you will just randomly go West Country and immediately get mocked for it. It's great.
I'll say something and they're like, battered! It's like, yeah.
Battered!
Do I want a battered... Do I want a buttered roll?
Ooh. It depends. Are you going to use that roll to make yourself a chip butty? In which case, yes.
With some fish in it and curry sauce. Fuck it,
Completely officially hand-painted NSFW statue, and the fact they went that far baffles me.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't surprise me. I seen the ad for the mech girl, and it was just mostly feet. Oh, I'm a little Pidgey, and I want to eat the fish. Pidgey wants the fish. I'm a little Pidgey, and I want to eat the fish. Yeah, we're remixing it together. As I just scream about fish.
1 second, I'm gonna change my song up.
So is it, how not safe for work is it, Ali? Is it like cock and balls out, or...
Is it a statue of two characters fucking?
No, the thing is, the statue she sent me was of the wolf guy. But I don't want to...
Oh, it's just, yes, full dong.
Wait, where's that dong, though? Hang on.
And the thing is...
Oh, I found the dong, though. Oh, he's got nipples and everything. Ah, it's more humanoid.
With multiple... I'm sorry, multiple what? You need to finish that sentence, Ali.
Finish your food.
The clothes come off, yeah.
Is it this way for the book?
Yes,
ornate mirror?
you need to go... Yes, you need to talk to the mirror.
Talk to the mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Oh, what the fuck?
I do not know this name. If you are known to my master, step forward and declare yourself.
Oh, you could have like nunchucks. You could just have 2 for 1.
Oh, it comes with multiple dongs. You can swap which one it has because they made them detachable. Okay.
Man, I know a lot of people who would love detachable dongs. A dong for each type of.
Well, not just the dongs, just entirely like swappable genitals in general.
Man, God, that would be so good. I wish I had that. It was revealed pre-launch. That was out before the game. Excellent.
Only a true ally of Ilintoth may pass. What think you of the Zolkir known as Zastan?
Do you like jazz?
You are no Zolkir, but are you one?
No.
Tell me, why might one use balsam ointment?
It smells nice.
Oh, wait. That one.
Acceptable. Finally. If you could see
Yeah.
anything in me, what would it be?
I mean, you'd be barking for it, wouldn't you, Ali?
You seek to survive. You seek power.
Oh, well, really? Okay. I may have to play ZZZ. I've actually seen a lot of bits and bobs of it. It looks quite fun. Is that a skelly bob of a whale?
What were they hiding down here?
Basilisk oil.
Maybe I need more pockets.
Research notes. Skelly Bob? No. Oh man, I was losing my shit over like him when he got revealed. Who's your number one like crush then on it, Ali? Like, you know, as we're revealing stuff about you, what's your number one like?
Oh wait. I need to see if this will actually trigger the thing.
Is that a bear?
It's big.
Oh, I succeeded the nature check. If I had failed as a Starian, I might literally have just said "rar."
Oh really? Oh wow, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Crystal ball. Yoink. Mirror, mirror on the wall, whose balls got it all? What was that I just seen?
Oh yeah, in your inventory, I did chuck you a couple of items. One's a dagger, one's a skull. They have funny names.
Dagger friend.
No, the dagger, yeah, the poo scraper.
Ha.
They were what was buried with Shovel's scroll.
Oh.
Also, if you talk to Shovel now, you may have different different stuff.
Making me sweat.
Hang on, I need to put this onto Karlak. It's onto our arms. Oh. As long as you're not wearing armor or holding a shield.
It's ideal for monks or unarmored barbarians, which you can do with her.
What's her AC? 15. 14. Less AC.
What to do?
I need to give her clothes though.
I mean, we'll find her a robe at some point. But yes, talk to Shovel.
Oh.
Shit-pilling toe rag.
Wait, what?
Summon, Shovel. Never
Oh, wait, did you... No, not with Karlak, not with Karlak.
Oh.
Wicked creatures of...
Wait, you're not Illy.
Hang on, leave.
No one stopped me yet.
See?
Wait.
Tell you truth, Beefy. Trust me. Always, always.
I'm confused.
Okay, I guess it's different if you're a sorcerer, warlock, or wizard. Just to check, you haven't got an ability for your character now called Summon Cheeky Quasit, have you? In your spell book?
I've got a long road ahead.
No.
Well, that's a shame.
I think I fucked up. Hang on.
No, you didn't fuck up. I think it's only wizard sorcerers and warlocks that get to do the cool thing where you can resummon him. No, let me disarm this first.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, everyone talks about werewolf guys, but no one talks about werewolf women. Yeah, werewolf women will be hot as fuck.
Traps. How considerate.
How would I know where I needed to look for summon him?
Be careful. There are traps about.
What? How to summon him?
Yeah.
So on your character sheet, so press I to open your your inventory.
Yeah.
Then at the very top of that, there's equipment, spellbook, alchemy.
Oh yeah, spellbook.
Spellbook. Check both your class and your common things for something that says Summon Cheeky Quasit.
Class, Halo. No, I don't think so. No, doesn't look like I have it. I see Karlak has it, but no, she has it.
No, she won't. But yes, I have unlocked the way for the spooky book.
Spooky book. Yeah, I would like to see that, Zara. Oh.
With no visible keyhole, only an oval recess in the cover's mouth.
I need to put something in the hole.
There is a specific thing you need to put in the hole, Benji.
Book, but the longer you stare,
It's got teeth, so I don't want to put that thing in there.
Eyes draw you in. You can sense something dark about this tome.
Well, it's got the fucking face on it. Of course it's dark.
Please don't open the creepy book.
Thank you, Karlach. How do I think that, you know... Where's that bomb I've got?
It's in Karlach's inventory, I
Iron
believe.
Flask.
That's a different bomb.
The book is locked tight with no visible keyhole. Only an oval recess.
I need something to put in the hole. What do I put in the hole?
You try to examine the book, but you can sense something dark about this tome. Something
No, I haven't.
Don't worry, we will soon have the key to it.
Okay. Well, we need close with Karlach at the end of the day because she's naked.
Fine. This way, Benji.
I'm coming. La la la. La 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 la.
May the darkness protect.
That's right, I'm just gonna make sure. No, I prefer his original stuff. It looks fancy.
Bed linen? Yoink. I can have some linen for my bed.
Nice. Anyway, we should be done in here unless you want to steal the paintings.
Nah, what we use the paintings for, to be honest?
Sell them.
Oh, nah. Oh, a ladder.
Yeah, the ladder is the way out.
God, I forgot we were still here.
Okay.
Well,
So, do we want to go after the key for that now, or do we want to go chat with Ethel?
I want to go chat with the ogres over here.
Okay, it's ogre time.
Yeah.
It's all ogre.
You know what I could do, actually?
Oh. What? Well, do you not want to talk to them?
Ah, that's a good point.
I saw the flask in Karlach's hand.
Yeah. Oh. The fucking hell, Karlach.
Like chicken. No chicken. Tastes like fish. Gentlemen, contain yourselves. This quarrel sells our feast.
Hey, Seth.
Besides, tastes like pork. And what surprise is this?
Hello, I'm Lizard.
Brothers, look here. I have eyed yet another tiefling prize. Fortune favours our bellies.
Yes, Lizard.
Stranger, be you friend or food. The mark is her measure. Show is the brand of the absolute. She scampered in from the east, calling for a pet, no doubt. The green earth bless us. She bore no mark. Those horns. Such cartilaginous crunch. Let's see the mark, lest I give in to my cravings. Am I not astonishing? A robust diet makes for
this guy's cool.
You see, I am a gourmand, and you a delicacy. Unless you bear the mark, of course.
Me talking to chat. Oh. Ooh. That was close.
Indeed. How regrettable that you... Food? Food. Not food. Friend. I've no use for the Absolute, or any god. The goblins understand my appetites. They sate my hunger for gold. And the rest sate my hunger for meat. Both goblin give gold.
I think a bit of both, to be honest, Ali. I would say a compliment because I'm Casey.
Talk. I am, by all accounts, a student of higher commerce and extortion. Make me an offer. Tempt me.
Oh, fuck yeah. Nope. Bugger. May as well. One inspiration. Ooh! Ooh! Ooh!
A brilliant notion and a boon to my
add in 1 minute.
Belly. We have a deal, my tasty kibble.
That's because you're a dumb mutt.
Take my bone horn. One blow and the ground will quake with my family name. Use
That sounds very useful, to be honest.
And never a moment before. Ogre kill everyone around, then Ogre eats
By the way,
them.
we can only make use of that in Act 1.
Only in Act 1.
Kill everyone around.
So, if we get into a real tough fight, then it's ogre time.
And this land proves.
Okay.
We will.
Cool. So that actually turned out to be quite useful.
Something good here. That might be worth a look.
Oh. Oh. Oh, we've leveled up.
Can't risk being in
Oh, so we have.
We really need to get Carlock some clothes.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
She's got clothes on, technically. Time to make this guy a swashbuckler.
Level 4. Level 4. Oh,
Astarion is now a swashbuckling bard.
Oh, I get a cantrip. Poison spray. Oh, I get a feat? Do I not get to choose ability score?
Ability score is a feat.
Oh, I see. I think more wisdom.
I mean, I'm trying to think. There's... Yeah, I don't think there's any half feats in this at the moment that give wisdom.
Or con. I'll take a half feat for con.
The only thing I can think of would be durable or resilient in con.
Yeah.
Resilient gives you proficiency in saving throws, so that would mean you're less likely to break concentration.
I think you should go with the higher wisdom.
Fair, fair.
So I think I'm purely based around wisdom pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Karlak, you naked sexy bitch. She can get 1 strength, 1 con. There you go, perfect. Muscle moment.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Oh, she's shuffling. Can we not steal this tiefling's clothes?
Unfortunately not.
Soldier.
Oh, there you go.
Astorin is encumbered by sausage.
Looking ahead.
I bet he is. Ali, how's your head, by the way? Are you feeling less groggy? Stop it. Are you feeling less groggy? I'm sure she gives pretty good head, but I was meant like, is she feeling less groggy? Mount. I think we're naturally heading towards
Ethel.
No, I was going to say the goblins from the looks of it.
I mean, if we continue west, then yes, that will be right towards them.
Yeah, I think they said that way.
What's hiding here?
Shut that shit, that shadow heart. There we go. He's no longer weighed down by sausage. So yeah, you don't want to go into the nice little forest first?
Well, if we follow this path, it'll take us to the forest, I think, will it?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, this way. We need to go this way.
Yeah, that way will take us to it.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're hinting towards Ethel. Let's go say hi to Ethel.
It is very much which order do you want to do things in. It's just originally you seemed intrigued by that.
I am, but also like, we'll have to see. Raspberries. Found some raspberries.
Raspberries.
This feels very like. Oh,
Something bit me.
I was about to say something should be there.
Just an insect. I'm sure you'll survive. Besides, it probably figured you for a tasty treat.
Is that a pig? That's a pig's
Give
head.
me an aboleth over a midge any day.
Oh, there's people down here.
There is, and they are having a chat with the kindly old lady.
Do you harass every Lads, for the love of all that is holy, I've never clapped eyes on your poor sister.
Drop the act, hag. You was the last to see Mayrina.
Just let her go. Please.
Carlo.
Thank goodness you're here, sweetie. I don't know what's come over these boys.
I think Ali's abandoned
Auntie
us.
Ethel's face creases with false concern. You realize she's lying about seeing this girl, Mayrina.
Stop this! We won't ask again!
Careful! Don't trust a word out of her mouth. Our sister went to the hag, and we ain't seen her since.
Hand over heart, I don't know their sister. I will gladly help you all look for her, though.
Enough.
Why is she covered in blood?
Where is she?
And him.
I don't know.
Bollocks! You were supposed to rush to my defense, love. Fat lot of good you are. Some advice. You ever darken my door, you'd best have that head bowed and an apology at the ready. Bye-bye now.
Bloody hells. She just disappeared. Ain't seen nothing like that before.
She could shoot fireworks out of her backside for all I care. The hag has Rena.
It's our sister, Mayrina. She's... well... she was in a bad way after her husband died.
Started saying weird things, like how she was gonna bring him back.
Next thing, she's gone looking for the hag. Of all the stupid things to do. And we haven't seen her since. And no good ever came from dealing with a hag.
None of this matters, all right? We need to get her back, and fast. Are you joking? I ain't got a clue who you are. No way I'm leaving Rena to you.
But, Joel...
Not a chance. We're getting her back on our
Well, you're
own.
gonna die.
Now, come on.
I'm just gonna follow him. Oh.
A chill runs up your spine. You feel like you're being watched.
Oh, fucking hell. That was bad. I'm gonna roll again. Oh, we got it!
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, and it was looking like such a nice day out.
Ali? You okay? Poison apples, fuck.
Yeah, so if you don't break the illusion there, then they just seem like delightful regular apples until you start dying.
I see.
Also, these
Murderous
guys...
glare of a red cap, a fey creature known for its bloodlust, greets you.
He doesn't realize that he doesn't look like a sheep.
A sheep.
So we could kill it.
We could.
But it's kind of harmless right now.
Currently, it doesn't realize that we see it as what it is instead of, you know, a sheep. It's technically over this way.
Dead? Well, I thought they had a sister to find. That's just lazy.
Ali, what happened?
Whoever did this is still at large. Look alive.
Passed out for a few minutes.
Oh, well, there he is. What sort of passed out? Like, you're super tired, or you just felt the wave of tiredness slowly just take you? So much for that computer science degree I'm supposed to have finished. Wow.
Oh. I'm gonna go have a chat with this guy.
He looks cool.
Ah, a fellow wanderer. Forgive the aroma.
You catch a waft of something foul, metallic, and sickly sweet.
It was me, Ali.
Iron vine. Most monsters will think twice before making a meal of me. An old hunter's trick. If you can't mask your scent, spoil it. Today, the same as you, a humble supplicant, come to bargain with the lady of this house. That is why you came to her lair, I take it, to bargain. A more innocent name than some I could call her, but it is what she is that ought to concern you. Her kind have hidden among us since the first darkness, and their knowledge is matched only by their spite. Know how to ask, and they'll share that knowledge, if you're fool enough to pay their price. A powerful friend.
Give me just a sec. Food's here.
That I cannot decide for you. For my part, I need
Ben
her
must
knowledge.
acquire the chips.
The thing I hunt has gone to ground. If she
Like
can tell
all
me
good
how to flush
pigeons.
him out, I'll pay whatever price she asks.
Hello.
Hello. The field marshal's at the door with them, so.
Ah, fair.
Truth is like a blade, my friend. We can arm ourselves with it, or just as easily find it pressed against our throat.
Huh?
I would not put you in danger.
Yeah. Ooh. I think I need to do one more row.
You know what? I'll give you bardic inspiration for this.
Thank you. Fuck.
Wait.
God, that was
bardic,
close.
Bardic for the win.
This duty is mine alone. But for such an offer, an answer at least is owed. I hunt a vampire spawn called Astarion. I'm bound to take him back to Baldur's Gate, alive. Though I cannot
Just point your light. He's right fucking there.
You can if he's in your party and not directly controlled.
My people were recently attacked in the night. Our camp set upon by a band of vampire spawn. In the chaos of
excellent,
battle,
Junie.
one
I'm
of
glad
them
to hear
stole
that.
away with our children. We've been searching for them ever since. We believe this Astarion knows exactly what happened that night and where to find our little ones. If
Just
captured,
let me
my
know when you're
people
no
will
longer in
make
the
him talk.
conversation.
Okay.
So I ask again. Is he known to you?
Ah, well. If you had, I could not fault you for lying. His kind have charm beyond our mortal means to resist. But best to take one terror at a time, I've used enough of your time. The lady awaits.
Do we get to meet this guy, Gwen? He seems kind of chill. Oh, you're gonna stab him. Hang on, hang on.
No.
There you go.
I'm going to bite him. And then stab him.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I guess we're not gonna hang out with him.
No, because he comes hunting me in camp if we,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For a dull moment.
Oh, wait, just realised Shadowheart is not in turn order because she's hidden. There we go. It's bonking time?
Yeah. Do I want... Nah.
Poor fucker.
Indeed, Carla. Poor fucker, indeed. Burly circle, burly circle. Puppy girl ASMR. In what way? As in listening to it and then making you into puppy girl, or like just a puppy girl doing ASMR? Wow, fuck. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Num num. Oh, he had a lot of shit. Huh.
Okay, so that I am going to chuck at Karlach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Short rest?
Yeah, short rest. Hey, Bofa.
Just a brief rest.
I'll be honest, I didn't say anything. It was actually Ali this time. She was saying something about... Well, she fell asleep and then I was just checking in on her. Oh, thank you. You was lovely. Thank you. I've been given chippy.
Chippy chappa chappa.
Hey, Bofa, how have you been? What have you been up to? Love you. Do you want some fish for the cats? Okay. Sorry, everyone, I'm just unwrapping my food. Give me a second.
Num 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 num.
Indeed, num num num.
Which is what Astarion says about many people.
Oh, sausage. You know what I need? More salt. So if you give me just
For a moment,
I
I thought you were going to say more sausage.
Sausage. I'm just gonna quickly go get some more salt. One sec. If you find it, can you bring it me? Or just let me know. Right, sorry about that, everyone. Yeah. So, what has everyone... So, Bofa, were you watching Faden? How's she getting on? Is she still streaming?
No, I just checked, and Aurora's stream is over for the day. It seems.
Oh, I hope she had a good time. Bless her. But curry sauce, fuck yeah. Nom nom nom.
Just ended, okay.
Ah.
I don't want a crumb left on that plate, girl.
Auntie Ethel, please. One more bite and this pie is gonna come back up to say hello.
Don't make me get the wooden spoon. You're eating for two, so get to it.
Not the wooden spoon.
If it isn't the cheekiest pop of them all.
Hello.
You best have one hells of an apology for me, Petal. I don't think I did, dearie. And frankly, you're thick for saying so. You know, I was gonna give you a swift kick up the arse and show you the door. But I think you and I could have a bit of fun together.
Oh.
Gods grant me patience. Eat up, Mayrina. I won't say it again. Keep that hole under your nose shut, or things will get messy.
Oh.
That hag doesn't tell us what to do.
What is it? What's going on?
You just have one of those faces, Mayrina. So bland and forgettable. Smart move, sweetness.
Oof.
Now, about what you told me in the Grove. Your little wriggler problem. It must be an awful thing to have that hanging over your head. Or in it, rather. Let me take care of that for you. Prying eyes. I didn't need those druids in my business. What do you say? Want me to take care of the little bugger?
Chat, your time to vote. Vote, vote, vote. Okay.
Well, that depends on the job. Removing a parasite is no small feat. But I like you, Petal. So
Do you?
I do think if you are going to do one of those votes, you need to give a bit longer.
Oh, sorry.
One of your pretty little peepers.
What?
I'll pluck it from your head, kiss it for luck, then back in it goes. Won't take but a moment. is my price. Nothing more, nothing less.
If you don't want to do it, I don't mind going for it.
A touch, but sure, you've 2 eyes in your skull, don't you? No need to be precious.
Oh, actually, no, it's a bad idea for Astarion. Shadowheart, maybe.
That's my business, Peter. It's nothing nefarious, though. I promise.
Maybe Shadowheart. Or if you want to do it, you can.
I'm tempted. But to take one of my eyes.
And then kiss it and then put it back.
Hang on. Chat, vote. I'm going to quickly go and get some vinegar.
Oh, we got a split vote. Ooh. No, it's fine. It gets put back right after. It's fine. Any other votes? Because currently it's split down the middle.
Bad news, there's no vinegar.
You don't have any non-brewed condiment?
Yes.
Damn. Yeah, chat has been annoying and done 50-50.
Oh. So, Ali, we're going to kill her no matter what. But what about my eye? I got curry sauce.
Yeah, curry sauce is a suitable thing. Time to choose.
Glorious. One moment. And she needs her real nails for this.
Oh.
Also, chat, as a warning, if you don't like eye things, you may want to look away for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Much better. That human skin is fierce restrictive. Well, yes. I should bloody think so. Not many get to see a hag in all her glory. Consider yourself blessed. Now choose. Which eye will it be? Right or left?
I think it's vote time again. No, it's fine, Ali. I'm letting a vote happen. We may kill her. So I don't know about the eye, to be honest. Oh. There's an overwhelming sense of left eye. Okay, Ali, look away.
You might need to allow the Baldur's Gate 3 companion app to access your stuff, Bofa?
Yeah. Or just say what you want for now. Oh. $50-50, but you are voting in game, Dave. So you have the deciding
Hold
vote.
on to your knickers.
Look away, everyone.
This might sting a bit.
Oh. I feel like she could have been a lot more gentle.
No, that wasn't so bad, was it?
I don't know.
Okay, the eye stuff is done.
Oh.
That color suits you. No, unless you want tentacles for a tongue, stay absolutely still. I've removed one of these buggers before, but it's a touch tricky.
The parasite squirms at the hag's words. Pain builds behind your eye. You feel the creature writhe as it's dragged towards your ear. Then it bites back, burrowing even deeper into your brain.
Oh.
God's damned wretched! You little shit! Didn't tell me it was Netherese. I'm not touching that!
Yes, okay. Yes, they're not in chat. They're on the actual video. Yes.
Could I have missed that stink? Like blood and piss congealing on my tongue. Someone's tampered with your parasite. That's likely why you've not turned yet.
Oh.
I can. But that thing has been touched by more than mind flayers. You're a dead soul walking. I can't help you. What about it? I held up my end of the bargain. It's not my fault the Wriggler's tainted by shadow magic. I want nothing to do with you or that scum in your brain. You're bloody right it wasn't. I agreed to remove an illicit spawn. That thing is an abomination. But let it not be said that Auntie Ethel doesn't honor her debts. Here, it's on you to fix yourself. Now get out!
So you've got an item now, a bone charm.
Now, Marina, time to
Guess
go.
this thing's going to take special.
Bye-bye, lovely.
Bone charm. Break this charm to receive all benefits from an enhanced ability spell until long rest. Oh.
So you can get advantage on all ability checks of one type, whether that is wisdom, dexterity, whatever. But you do now have paid the price.
What does that mean?
Well, if you hover over the effect.
Where is it? Oh. Bonus 1 to intimidation, but disadvantage on perception checks. I'm going to reload. I don't want to lose my eye. I think we're just going to stab her.
Okay.
Oh, see you, Thomas. When are we going to hook up with Minthara? Once we killed a hag. But thank you for stopping by, Thomas. Lovely to have you.
Okay. So you can only hook up with Minthara if you're doing an evil playthrough.
Wait, what?
Yeah, to hook up with Minthara, you need to kill the druids and tieflings. 1 second, I'm just gonna stab up Gandrel again.
Yeah, hang on, let me get over and just... Yep.
First things first. Blood. Go.
Attention! Stand in my way. Fall by my hand.
God, we are fucking him up.
Yep. There you go.
Right. One turn. That's all it took.
Love you, Thomas. Bye. Let's go kill this weird hag.
Second, I keep forgetting that Astarion is incredibly encumbered.
Check on Carla.
That's what I plan to do. There you go, muscle mummy.
Let's see what this does.
Muscle mummy away.
I don't make me fit. You
So we're just going to attack Ethel, yes?
Yeah. Fuck this bitch. Oh. Wait, what?
She viciously mocked me. How dare!
Blood follows me everywhere.
Oh shit.
Okay, this mockery is over, so now I can change it.
It's go time.
Oh.
Smell blood. Moving.
Yes. Now the red caps are coming to fight us.
Because we upset them.
Well, we upset their master, yes.
Ah, she's their master.
She is the most powerful Fae in this area.
Oh yeah, she's a Fae, ain't she?
Hags are Fae, yes.
Interesting, interesting. Huh?
Yeah, they've got a couple of magic users, the Blood Sages.
Oh.
Come now, Marina. Time to go. Enjoy playing with your new friends. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mountie Ethel.
Don't worry, we'll come. We'll get her soon. Can you reach that fellow? No. But you can reach this. Oh. What do you mean must have advantage? Oh, no other combatants within 7 feet.
Small, angry bearded lads. The Belgians are here.
Shit.
Oh, fucking hell.
Jesus Christ. The fuck?
You know what this calls for?
Bells.
Hand grenade.
A holy hand grenade of Antioch?
Mm-hmm. I haven't got that, so I'll use this.
Well, you know who does have it?
Carlac time. Exact, Dutchy, exactly. Dutchy, have you been onto oh, what's it called? Onto the Vintage Story server yet?
Yeah, no, Dutchy has been onto the Vintage server. Jesus Christ. And there were temporal storms, so died many times.
Oh no. It's quite funny. Bye. Oh. I was too confident with that.
Run if you can, hag.
Oh.
Karlach's got your number.
Karlach really wants to kill her.
Oh, son of a bitch! That targeted the spiritual weapon.
Oh no.
Chug the potion, chug the potion.
Teehee.
Nicely done, shovel.
Why do I have to pass without a trace?
What?
I said, why do I have to pass with...
For when we want to do sneaking.
Yeah, but why do I have it?
Because it's a druid spell.
Oh.
Oh.
Ow.
Say bye-bye.
Oh. Karlach, 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 Karlach. Who's that old capybara?
I need healing.
Oh, hey, Bojack.
Hey, man.
Man, Shovel is just finishing off all of these red caps.
Yep.
These days.
Oh yeah, thanks for the clip, by the way.
The what?
The clip.
Which one?
At quite early on your stream.
What did I say?
Hentai. You like hentai?
Huh?
You'll hear it eventually. And by the way, Benji, could I get back permissions to add sounds?
No, not right now.
It don't need to be right now.
What now?
I'm sorry.
You
for this.
removed my power to haunt you. I'll give it back.
Birdie circle. I mean, yeah, well, I can sort it in a bit. Oh wait.
Don't stress about it. Like, it's not that important.
Yeah, because Karlach didn't have a melee weapon equipped.
Oh.
Need
That's
to learn the hard way.
annoying. Don't worry.
Still breathing, despite everything.
We have ouchies.
Karlach, stop standing over her. Should we have a short rest before we go back in?
Probably.
Okay, short rest time.
Just a brief respite.
Do you need another rest?
No. What I can do is I'll split group of 3.
Here we go.
Chuck those at shot, and then have shot, and then have ash. There we go.
I love when RNG is with the Lalas.
Why?
I won another giveaway.
Oh. Always the way. Hang on.
Well, yeah. Oh, saving.
There you go.
Sorry, there's some things up here.
That's fine. We'll wait. Who's that fat capybara?
Me.
Capybara.
Capybara, capybara.
The music's very pretty.
Mhm.
There you go. Actually.
We going sneaky.
Yeah, sneaky bleaky like.
Sneaky breaky.
Hag can't have gone far.
Now the question is, do I stay for the second giveaway?
Yeah.
What is this?
But I want to sleep because I'm probably gonna stay up later tomorrow.
Don't look.
I also wanted to see if I never usually went to it. Actually, I have. But not gonna lie.
Oh.
You feel crushing waves of fear as the presence within the door recoils. Images flash. A man cowering, a bag open at his feet. His cries for mercy are cut short as the hag slices. She cackles. The man's remaining flesh twisted, becoming the twisted flea. You feel it cry. A scene appears in your mind. 2 paladins and a cleric marching through the door. Shrouded
Question
in
is,
the
do I
glow
want to
of
stay
the
up
divine.
for another 1.5 hours?
Brandished, they charge into the hag. Screams of
Or do I
terror
leave
pierce
with
the
my
air.
2.4 profits of gil?
Naughty. That's a decade for each. You're
I take my
mine for 30
leave, I
more
think.
years, Pecker.
The door twitches, but stays firm.
I mean, you lose. You win some, you lose some. I lost 600k in gambling in 3 minutes.
Really? Damn. That's crazy.
You see the hag. She
I mean, I make
walks through
100k
the
bets
door,
and,
its form
you know,
shimmering. The
win and
lightest
lose,
touch of
and then
hope
lose
rushes
everything,
your
like in
mind
real life.
As the presence within retreats.
So, the wall is an illusion.
Don't look.
Nope.
Mustn't look, mustn't see. I see it. I see what's to come.
You realize there's magic at work.
Me. Dead. Dead. Flesh rotten, bone shining. Skull splitting. Not. Oh, for God's. Don't hurt me. Oh, please. Please. Please, please, please. No. For mind dripping. Flesh peeling. Mind fire. Ah! No, 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 no. I'm sorry.
But yes.
Stop. Make it stop.
So, the way we get through this door, you just angle the camera and then you can walk through.
Need to do what?
You angle the camera to the side and then you can walk through the wall.
Ah.
Let's see what you're hiding. You are as thick as they come, sweetness. This is my personal playhouse. As that's real good nice.
Oh, yeah, no, Karlak
Please. Please.
was spotted by Auntie Ethel, apparently. Just...
There you go.
Okay.
Do-do, do-do, do-do. Knotted roots. What's patrolling?
People under Auntie Ethel's control.
I see. These were the people who tried to kill her earlier.
Nope. Shovel has been spotted. And Shovel is dead. Oh, and you have been spotted. 1 second, let me get into a more advantageous area.
Damn. Was that non-lethal?
No, that was not non-lethal.
Oh. I'd have liked the non-lethal attack.
I am genuinely surprised how much skill I've made just from going to venues.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
not
Karlak's
crafting.
turn. What is Karlak going to do?
I didn't want to kill them, Dave.
Well, it's only one that's dead. You can knock the others out if you want.
Who is this guy?
No traps, please.
Just a guy. He's just an innocent man.
I want to reload because I lost my fucking little guy.
What, you're sad about Shovel dying?
Yeah! He got ganked, poor little lad.
So are we going to try and sneak past them, or are we going to try and non-lethal?
Sneak past where we can.
Okay.
Now, where are you hiding?
Is that someone holding someone's head?
Holding their own head.
Oh.
These are previous instances of Auntie Ethel's promises. If you want to improve our chances of getting through this, you could, well, without having to fight any of them, you could pass without trace.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And then hide again. Because that gives us a +10. 1 second. Just need to... Son of a bitch. Okay, I'll do non-lethal, I guess. What do you mean must have advantage? I don't need advantage because I'm a swashbuckler.
Oh. Want to reload?
Let's see it. No. Okay. Oh, as a heads up, with non-lethal, that can't be spells. He's knocked out.
How do I throw my fire at someone?
On the right-hand side, you should have a throw.
No. No, it's not just
No, on the right-hand side of your thing.
Oh, I
of
see.
your entire hotbar. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Okay, this guy sucks the Mask of Vengeance, because he, or she, will return damage. Sorry, she'll get an attack against anyone that makes a melee attack. Like that.
That's fine, Carla can take it though. Oh.
Go on, do it, Shovel. No.
Shovel can't.
No. Disengage, run away with Shovel. It's the two arrows pointing opposite directions to disengage.
I won't do it!
Yay! Go, Juniper. Well, now Vintage is getting on.
No time for mercy.
I have no idea.
Oh.
Well, we don't have Pass Without Trace, but we're in combat, so it's probably for the best. Okay, knocked out.
Soldier.
Oh.
She didn't attack or get damaged, so, yeah.
Damn. That's good, Junie. That's the Yeah, honestly, Zara, I've just seen that picture. I know it's an hour late, but like, would.
Have to keep going. Another day,
Onward. The hammer's gonna fall.
No, Auntie!
You are very welcome, dear.
And knocked out.
Gotta be a good girl.
yes, Auntie.
Oh!
Go, Twink.
These boots have seen everything.
Well, the Twink fucked up.
Gods, it's hot in here. What's it gonna take?
Guess what? Bonk.
Okay.
Run!
They're all knocked out. Oh shit, yeah, no, we can't.
Slow down.
We can't loot them yet, because if we do, that actually kills them.
What's with me?
Hmm?
There you go. Short rest?
Once we're through the waterfall.
Okay. Oh.
Go.
Something's on my mind.
I see.
Yeah, unfortunately, the noxious fumes keep respawning due to other things.
Oh, that's a shame.
Easy. This place is hungry for blood.
Now, do I... I have a potion of poison resistance, and I can disarm traps. So, it's gonna suck, but I can do this.
Do you want a short rest beforehand?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. We will short rest. And then save. And then off you go.
Okay. Jesus Christ. DC 30?
Huh.
I can technically do it, but god damn.
That's a lot of DC.
Actually, wait. Yeah, I need to basically roll. No, there's no point in me continuing to try that. Twink, get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay. There are other ways to do this. Aha. I can cast Featherfall on us and we can jump past the poison. So, we only have 10 turns to do it, so once I cast it, start jumping. Nope. I'm going this way, you don't have to follow this way.
Cautious. Trunk.
It's fine, just keep jumping. He's right, yeah, he's right by you. Okay. Okay. Gotta be boss fight time. I hope you're ready.
There, in the cage.
Traps.
Oh, cutscene triggered.
You come to my home, interfere in my business, and now have the gall to face me in the heart of I'll rip your spine out your asshole! I'll use your blood to spice my stew! I'll keep you alive until I've sucked the marrow from your
Is that better?
bones. And then I'll bring you back and do it all over again!
Just get out of here! Please!
You want the girl so bad. Fine.
That girl hasn't got long, if you plan to save her.
So do I. I'm up first, so I will throw the bottle of water. Oh, you're not actually in combat. You're inspired. No, you don't need to. She's been put out, so you don't need to worry about that. What, the hag? You know there's 4 of her at the moment, right? Okay, Okay, that one was a fake.
Have I been muted? Oh, sorry. There you go, is that better, everyone? I must have hit my hand on the keyboard. Sneaky, sneaky. Thank you for the BD Spofa. I don't know how much you heard of me. Oh no.
With haste.
Go, Elizabeth Pidgington.
It's pigeon tie. Oh. Thank you for noticing, everyone. Oh, there you go. Found it.
Yeah, the other ones will still do shit, so, yeah.
No, it's fine.
Over there.
Actually, what am I doing now?
Oh, beans. Ooh. Wow, Bofa, that's mean. Oh, fucking hell. Ow, Jesus. Oh, jeez. Ow. Everyone.
She's a tough deal.
Hey, that's Marina. That's not Marina, is it?
Wait, okay, so there's Marina there and Marina there. Oh god, it's hard to tell which is which.
Why didn't it get teleported over to here?
Well, the thing is, Auntie Ethel also took the same form.
Oh. Wait, I am talking now. What? Oh. Man, I wonder how long I was muted for. That's fucking dumb of me.
Hmm?
No, we... You know what? I can just whip her. That's my arena.
Okay. But you didn't kill her.
Light on my feet.
Which sometimes is all we can ask for.
Yeah.
I've got this.
Alright, oh, I'm reckless. Yeah, we want reckless. We want to make sure we can get this hit. Fuck off. Okay. Ouch. I think if I... Where is it? Where's my moonbeam? I feel like that's going to be super useful for us.
I mean, she is a shape changer.
Yep. Have a wonderful rest, mate. Oh, why? You fucker. Have a medium rest. You bastard.
Do I stay up more?
No! Go the fuck to sleep.
Wait, I could just buy.
I will time you out. Go to fuck to sleep.
Okay, good night.
Good night, buddy.
I will haunt you on the weekend, I guess.
You will, mate. You definitely will.
Bye.
Bye. I'm an EP bird myself, actually.
Time for some bloody work.
Oh.
Where is she?
So yes, as a heads up, all of them at the moment are illusions. She is invisible. I think she was like somewhere over here, but I can't be certain.
Oh.
Your boy. Your sweet boy.
My sweet boy just disappeared from existence. What the fuck happened there? It just went.
Yeah, because he walked into the moonbeam.
Oh, I didn't know that was hurt enemy friendlies.
Yes.
Oh. Well, hello, girlie. Bit of fish for you. Fishy, fishy, fishy. Ah.
Also, Karlach's looking a little worse for wear.
She is, but she likes to be there. What is Auntie Ethel?
As I said, I think she's... No, I think she's like over here.
Have I got to see invisibility?
Probably not prepared. I don't know if it's a druid spell or not.
Oh no, I have a scroll of see invisibility.
Ah, useful.
Shall I use that, do you think?
I mean, if you could stop the moonbeam first, that would be great. Okay, wasn't quite there.
Can't slow down.
Ready for another round? Covered.
I've got an idea.
I also have an idea. No, not that one. Not that one. There she is.
Where?
There.
Oh. That's not good news for her. How is D&D going, Heidi, my dear? I'm an EB bird.
I think it's Karlach's turn.
What? Oh. No. Oh, yeah. Oops.
Did you forget to press end turn?
Yeah.
You're everyone's punching bag and no one's favourite.
Where did she go?
There.
Ah. Wow.
Hope your soul is in good hands.
You bastard! You ruined it!
Oh, you knocked her out.
Huh.
Ethel was going to bring my husband back. Back from the dead. And now I'll never see him again. Because of you! She would have. I had everything figured out. Just a bit longer and my child would have been born. And all this.
What the fuck?
All this would have been over.
You're right, Sarah.
Don't judge me. I have nothing. My baby would have been raised in rags. Auntie Ethel promised to give this child a good life. Teach them magic, even. More than I could have done. She said I'd make a bad mother.
I think she was right, actually.
She was right. Now I'll have to drag Connor's coffin all the way home.
You know what? Where the fuck are you?
Wait, are you trying to kill Myrina?
Yeah. Fuck off. Did all that to help you and you spit on my face? Was she important, Myrina?
Not really. So yeah, we knocked Auntie Ethel out.
Oh, we did?
Don't waste a step.
Yeah. Do I heal her or do we just kill her? Okay, that answers that question.
I'm done. I can't wait to sleep.
Well, Myrina's a bitch. She's gonna sacrifice her fucking baby. Was I bad?
No.
I swear Benji's...
Ah yes, most of those will hurt you if you try and drink them.
That's to so.
Oh, the twink is encumbered again.
Of course he is. I mean, a little bit Zora, but also Zora, those that werewolf girl. Yes. Mushroom circle. What is...
Mushroom
soldier.
circle. Oh.
We were both part of Zariel's inner set. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. No kidding. The fight, I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Devils and their pride.
Ooh. Oh, you're gonna revive him?
This many cactus.
Oh.
Because Myrina's not here, he gets violent.
What a terrible couple. And family.
No, never mind.
We should probably get that infernal iron for Karlach's chest, shouldn't we?
Where is it?
It's back in the goblin village, or we can see if we can get that info on Korga.
Oh, I went straight to the...
You went straight to the village?
Yeah. Karlach's more of it. Oh, not the village. I went... Sorry, hang on. There you go.
Okay, so...
The husband was already dead. The family refused any help and basic... Barkus Root. Who's Barkus Root? Oh, it's like the... It's the gnome!
It's the gnome!
Man, he got some air. How's he here?
Because that's where he got thrown.
By further... How did he land over here when... Okay. Oh. Where are you?
Oh,
I see.
Over here. I'm getting that iron.
Where is it?
Hmm?
Through the shabby wooden door.
I'll give it a shot.
We're out of rests, Heidi, sadly.
There are traps about.
Just heard you like failing a trap. I just heard a staring and there's traps about.
No one back home will ever believe believe this.
Well, Shadowheart, I guess it's up to you.
Can you not jump up?
Astarion is not strong enough. However,
there's thief tools on the ground here.
Right. Pick that block. Pick that block. I love the fact that, as standard, all of the women are much stronger than the men in this.
Of course.
We got some infernal iron.
Hey.
I've wished to live in more
I'm just
interesting
gonna.
times.
Nothing in there. Yep. Ooh.
Wish I had a bag
Okay.
of holding.
Oh.
Shadowheart picked something up.
Yeah.
A smoke powder barrel.
Is that going to make a bigger boom than the hand grenade I have?
Yes.
Ah.
Come on, let's go.
Well, what have we?
I am not strong enough to break down that wall by myself.
Well.
Oh, there we go. Just needed to hit it repeatedly.
Not as bad as it could have.
Where are we going?
Need to find a way forward.
Huh.
Better be careful. Those webs carry vibrations.
Anything over here?
Not really.
A spider web. But if I get rid of the spider web, do you think?
Well, that way.
Burn the webs, Bofa says. Oh.
It may not be a good idea to have Karlach stood on the webs if you're trying to burn the webs.
Something didn't like that.
Oh. The fuck are those things?
Eticaps.
What's an eticap?
Kind of spiders.
Oh, both. I have an idea.
Okay, I burned the webs.
Yay.
I will, however, say, towards the spiders is how we get the thing to open the book.
Oh, I guess we got to come that way.
No, there are other ways in.
But spiders. Huh. They phase through different zones. Oh my god, they've literally phased. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, these are scary spiders.
They teleport. I want to be able to teleport, man. Oh. Can I do something funny?
You've made a grave mistake.
That will never not be funny.
Oh, I thought it was really low.
Oh, I thought it was really low. Oh. The way up's just over here.
Oh, I see. I guess they designed it so if you're dumb, like...
Us.
Yeah. I don't like the fact that they're infested.
Aha, your webs can't touch the twink. Okay, it looks like they have a cooldown on their teleports.
It's what?
Hmm?
It's did what, sorry?
I think they've got a cooldown on their teleport.
That's useful.
God damn it, Shadowheart.
I jumped down to jump up.
This is gonna feel good.
Hmm.
Go, little weird thing, go. I wish to stab you in the face. Ugh.
Don't worry about that.
Is that the infested thing?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Nya, 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 nya. Are we killing it or not?
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Okay.
The mysterious man spider dies.
Now this is my happy place.
My sweet chase. But, Heidi, my dear, how the devil was D&D? Tell me about it. How was your Dungeons and your Dragons? Pika, also, if you're here, you're adorable. Your Lala is absolutely adorable. Oh.
Here come the spiders.
Speeder. Speeder, speeder.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Does whatever a Spider-Man can. Can he dress like a twink? Of course he is. He's a twink.
Watch out, it's a Starion.
Let's cut your fire.
Too far?
Yeah. We got an airship, I rode my horse. Itchpod, crane. Killed some cultists. Your AC is now 20. That sounds like a good day.
Hell yeah.
Dad, I don't know if they are, mate. I feel like they're trying to kill us and they friggin' teleport. Doesn't feel very friendly. Like,
spiders are friends, not food.
I don't know. Crispy spider leg in fantasy always seems to be like really tasty. Crispy spider. Did we loot those weird guys? Yeah.
Find a route.
Why are we still in combat? Oh, there's another one coming. Somewhere.
The twink is not strong enough to jump.
Oh, no. Ali, I'll tell you when
maybe to when... Oh, wait,
Yeah, Ali, I'll let you know when it's over, okay? Hey, I didn't know it was their home, then they attacked me. Like, it was accidental, but also, like, fuck those guys.
Death won't take me yet.
Damn!
Okay, spiders dead.
Yeah.
Hotels Trivago.
Sharp, fuck off. I can't I jump up?
You don't have enough strength, do you? Have Karlak throw you.
Soldier.
Fuck off.
I'd love to, thanks.
How do I throw?
X.
I'm too heavy.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Well,
These boots have
guess we're gonna
seen
go.
everything.
we can find another way in here, as I said.
Yeah.
I am, however, looking at our health and Shadowheart's lack of spell slots.
I think we go back to the druid place.
Fix Karlach's heart,
And
or as
then-
much as it can be fixed at
Yeah.
the moment. And then long rest.
Yep. Ali, we are leaving the spider area, just so you're aware, my dear. Right, where the fuck? How the fuck do we get off here? Camp. Oh.
Just use
Oh,
the
this is
teleporter.
nice. Nice little camp.
No, wait. You that's okay. That's because you're in the cellar. It'll take you there. You wanted
Yeah.
to go to the Emerald Grove, so just teleport to the Emerald Grove environs.
Yeah.
Also, we have a lot of shit to sell.
That's another reason why I want to come here.
When we get closer to the traders, chuck the items to me because I have a higher charisma, so I have a better price.
That sounds good to me. I think we've done some good bits.
Yeah.
Which trade did you want to... We'll go to the tiefling because he's going to fix the heart, right?
Well, you can do the stuff with him while I do the stuff up here.
Oh, hang on. Let me bring you the stuff.
And I will chuck you, just to make sure, the Infernal Iron. There we go. Because apparently it doesn't register while it's in my inventory. I am heavily encumbered.
Yeah.
This twink is thick.
You're too heavy now. I can't give you all the rest of the stuff. I'm just going to give it all to the remaining stuff to... 16,
The
17.
shot?
Yeah. Is he being a pain, is he?
Still alive. So that's progress.
I keep chasing Ada and I shut the door between the two of them. They're both like...
Mother, why is the door closed?
Why is the door shut?
Mother, do you not love us anymore?
Meowver.
Time to rest.
Meowver.
What path lies before me?
Am I not perfect, Meowver? Look upon my whiskers. Look upon my fur. Nya, mother.
A quick word.
Oh, that'd break everyone.
How fares the search?
Please let this work.
The weight of it. And that blaze of chaos. Can't imagine this where my heart should be. Must be quite the experience. Give me just a moment. And I think... There. You'll have to install it, I'm afraid. I don't think there are thick enough gloves in all the realms to protect from that kind of heat.
I love that they don't fully show it.
Yeah.
Good. I'm still burning hot as hell's hole, but I feel less changeable. Cheers, mate.
Pleasure.
Such a
And
polite...
as for the heat,
Thanks, mate.
I haven't got any solutions now, but I'm not giving up. Could be if the combustion chamber had its own insulation, or if we had some kind of enchanted coolant. find me again in Baldur's Gate. If I'm worth my salt,
Oh.
we'll figure something out by then. Take care, Karlak. And hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have something promising to report. Pocket any infernal iron you find along the way,
Okay. I like Damon.
Looking for steel?
Hello, Inku.
well,
hello.
something
It's been a while,
close.
mate. How you been? What have you been up to?
Hold on to it for now. But it's my top priority. Believe me. Anything to take my mind off, well, everything.
Staff Crones.
Yep, I chucked that your way because you might be interested in it.
That's better than what I got at the moment.
That's why I thought you might be interested in it.
Yeah. Anything else? We've got a maul. A shark wants a maul. Or a
No.
No? Not a warhammer?
Oh,
a light hammer?
No. She's got a magic spear.
Okay.
The question for you.
Yeah.
Do you want any dyes to dye your equipment?
Not at the moment, if I'm honest.
You like the look of your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. What armor have you got at the moment?
Scale mail.
Okay.
I could get chainmail. But I'm not
no, chainmail's heavy armor. You could get a chain shirt, but...
Yeah, I could get hide armor? No. Oh, I can get +1 scale mail. So I keep the AC. I know, it'll be 15 AC.
Yeah,
I'll get,
+1 would increase your armor.
I could get ring mail. Ah, no, I can't. I'm wondering if I get this scale mail +1. Oh, it gives me disadvantage on... I already have disadvantage on stealth checks anyway.
Okay.
Gloves, shields. Got a pretty nice shield if I'm honest. There you go. I think I look good. Boots give me athletics +1. Hat. Con saving throws I feel like are more useful. War picks would be cool. Great sword.
Soldier.
7 to 17. Anything else I can use for Karlak? Not really. What are you up to, Inku? What have you been up to? What have you been doing? I can buy Karlak's old armor back, but then it's armor, so it won't count.
Hey, good looking.
It would negate the braces of defense. It's basically, do you want the 16 she's got at the moment, or the whatever the armor plus her dexterity would be?
I think it's worth keeping her as is.
Mm-hmm. There will be some
Let's move.
robes we can get soonish, I
upgrade
think.
didn't cool me down, but it did juice me up. I don't think I've ever felt more powerful.
Oh. We got Asterion, Shadowheart, and also Karlak. Plus me.
But yes, I am the one playing Astarion.
Soldier. Why not? The year was
I have decided to
10
be the
years of
twink.
that. I guess sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. Gives me energy. Power. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn.
Oh,
hot.
Benji,
I try not
did
to think
you
about it.
say that
I
you
still think about it
were going to
constantly,
get the scale mail
one of these
plus one,
days,
or have you
Oh, I
already bought it?
have bought it.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just thinking when we
You! Saw you fancy a bowl? Best to fill your belly now, while we still can. Look, it ain't. The only... If a gnoll catches your scent, you'll...
Oh. Thank you, Octa. But how you doing, Neil? How's things?
To camp?
Yeah, I think camp time.
Oh, the Wizard of Waterdeep. I take it he needs to eat another item.
Oh, thank you, Heidi.
Yep,
I will
he
have
needs
a
to
stretch.
eat another item. Time for
just got
me
rid
to
of all mine.
feed... No, that's fine.
Oh, thank you for the stretch and the adjustment in seat, and I'll have the last of my drink. Thank you,
I
Heidi.
specifically kept an item for this situation.
Thank you. Take care of yourself in the war.
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
I am. Good boy. Who's a good puppy? Who's a good puppy? Yeah. Good puppy. I think this is probably actually a really good place to end it. I think we have a rest. And then,
Gale is doing exposition.
Oh, hang on.
Listen, I need to speak to you. To
Are you listening in?
Yep.
It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent.
Let me know when you caught up to the choice.
Yes, I'm on the choice.
Okay.
I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am.
I just realised your outfit.
What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held.
Oh, Gale, you
I'm
edgy
what
bastard.
one might call a wizard prodigy. Who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mystra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time, she became my muse. And later, even my lover.
Number one.
Oh, yes. We enjoy each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mystra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her,
Oh, she was
I
that
stood
good.
on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries.
I bet you did.
Number one?
I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me
Magic
now,
moment.
I shared a bed with a goddess. And I wasn't satisfied.
Hello, Kika. Nice to meet you.
So I sought
How's
to prove
things?
myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of
Do
my
you not
folly.
like my hat,
Shall I
Bofa?
share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale?
I'm intrigued.
Very well. Here goes. Once upon a
Yeah, she
very
really
long
did.
time
She was
ago,
like,
a mighty
sit
lord
down,
lived in a tower.
stay where you are.
Flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite. His entire
No, that's fine, Ali. I
empire,
just wanted to make sure because I hadn't seen you for a bit.
came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms. Until the day Mystra returned. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece
Netherese.
of the fractured weave
We
had
know
been
that word.
sealed beyond her reach.
Yep, as in from the Empire of Netheril.
What if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess? You know me. My gestures can never be
Gale,
grand
you
enough.
man-whore.
I was certain that this deed of raw
But Kiko,
power,
what brings you into
draped in
chat? Nice
romance,
to meet
would
you.
Convince Mistra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken.
Right.
That's that what they
Obtained
call
the
it
fabled
nowadays.
book and took it into my study. As for what happened next, here, place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
Oh. My.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you in into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book bound and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave.
Sarah, amazing timing.
Its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however. I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep. We might chance upon a king's collection of magical artifacts around the corner. We might cross paths with a miracle round the bend. Then again, we might not. All of this, it must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways. That is a great relief.
Aww.
Oh, a great relief
I like
indeed.
Gale.
You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight.
I'm wondering about Gale and
as long as I
Shadowheart.
can.
Potentially switching them.
Even I am tired of the sound of my own voice.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I do
Now
like
venture
Shadowheart though.
forth.
The thing is, I wish I could just have one more.
Yeah, without mods, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Looking ahead.
The question is, we do have some healing between you and me. If you want the arcane firepower, then yes, I say switch Shadowheart for Gale.
Hmm.
If you want to keep... Oh. I mean, we can make this decision next time if you'd like.
Maybe. I think we'll keep Shadowheart for now, at least Act 1. But I
Okay,
think... oh.
Waiting on other players.
Hang on. What's this invasion plan of... Sorry.
Yeah. Don't worry. That map shows up quite a few times. I believe it's basically how the absolute forces want to invade the Sword Coast.
Right. Okay. There you go.
Okay, before we actually sleep, I'm gonna quickly do something with Shadowheart. No, you got piped again.
Hi, Scrim. You're going to speak to Shark.
I shall be here.
No,
in my
I'm
camp
having
for
Shark
whenever thou hast need
talk
of
to
my services.
Bone Daddy.
Oh, and she's in
Amend
an outfit.
should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave in.
I have another talk to him.
For a mere pittance of coin.
Oh, you're
as
going to
thou
reskill
didst-
her. Oh, nice.
Yes, I'm gonna change her from Trickery Cleric. Okay, now the question is, which other domain? We have the choice of death, knowledge, life, light, nature, tempest, trickery, or war.
I guess death would make sense for her.
Death. I like it. It's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm so cute. Look at me.
Oh.
Yeah, it is honestly cute. Pika, how are you? I haven't seen Pika all stream, apart from the beginning. Abandoned us.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, a cantrip.
Which cantrip?
It's called Bursting Sinew.
Oh, okay.
Explode a corpse, causing it to impale those around you.
Oh, bugger, Scorch.
Yes.
I got rid of the horn.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Oh no, Pika, what sort of mad? Like, under the weather or mentally? Bless you.
Okay.
Hey, soldier.
Oh, okay, bless you.
I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the blade of frontiers on my tail. But what about you? Maybe once we've wrapped up the current shenanigans.
I want to sleep with Karlak.
Soldier?
You can't until Act 2. She's currently too hot.
I am a tiefling. I can deal with it.
No, even as a tiefling, you cannot.
Let's hope Damon is as good as he seems. Once my... Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Oh, Karlak, you golden retriever woman, I love you.
Everybody does.
I like a challenge. Exactly, Ali.
Challenge accepted.
Let's go speak to the frog.
Okay.
I expect I am your first. I suppose I am as a... That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake.
Just rearrange.
Better is an opinion, but mine is certainly more economical, disciplined, dignified.
True. Ali does make a very good point.
Each creche contains a safest purification device. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shift. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon it. I understand. More to the point. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe. Yes. Then your bones will change form. Or then you have ceased to exist. And a mind flayer is born. Because I do not intend to let this happen. Not to me. We must find my... The first symptoms should have long since started, though. Yes. If you... Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
Right. Will.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling. He brings to mind a
You
story.
just checking on the whole party.
The farmers. We can learn a lot from fairy tales. Refuse him, no matter how tempting they are. That's because he'll require of you only what you're, and then require more still. You might think, but the devil won't take just anything. My father once said, "What?" So it was for me. I was hunting. I found him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I'm proud. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the angry at myself.
You getting piped today? God damn.
Suffering.
I think it's because I was being quiet. Also, hey, Croc.
And so I heeded. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck. Not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places.
Oh.
But be my mirror. What do you see? I can't tell if you're being silly or serious. But I suppose I'll grow.
All the characters are kind of good.
Horns and all. The people will
Yeah.
see a curiosity.
This is one of the reasons I like to play on like much higher difficulties, but with a more party members mod, so I can have all of them come with me. It's like, I may still be bad at this, but if I bring enough bodies...
She could kill me for one. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mazora no harm. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We can...
Thank you, Pika. You tell off, Croc. Right. I think sleepy time.
Mm-hmm.
And just auto scope. No, we won't. Yeah, we will. A fucking shallow heart.
Look, she likes to get real comfy, alright?
She does. She does. How do I choose my spells?
Yep, spellbook, and then you can change your prepared spells. If you are a prepared caster, like a wizard, druid, or cleric, or paladin.
I'm a druid.
Yes. I am a bard, so I pick spells when I level up, and I only get to change them when I level up.
Boo.
Boo earns indeed.
I was having a look at my spells before.
I was saying boo earns.
Yeah, that's good for me. Right. I think it is time for us to save and settle down. Because it's been a nice game, but I'm also getting a bit EP. And well, EP Bird is Bird of Eep. So I think we're going to just go find someone to just go and raid. We're going to find someone, hopefully doing some Baldur's Gate, to go raid.
Okay. We don't want to go for some of the big names here.
No, I'm just trying to find Smaller, same category. The thing is, to be honest, everyone's a bit bigger, or I believe.
Viewers low to high.
Yeah. I'm just having a quick look.
I'm loving the fact that there's someone whose stream is titled "An Idiot Plays Honor Mode."
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look. I think maybe today we won't raid. We'll just politely end the game. Because the issue is I don't know where a lot of these people are. And it looks like a lot of them... Oh no, there's one called Gale Romance Simulator. Fuck it, we're going to go see them. Because that seems fun. So we're going to go see this Banby Plays. Because Gale Romance Simulator just made me chuckle. So when we go and raid this lovely person, just give them a load of pigeon spins and bouncy pigeons and just a hello and be a lovely community as always. So we're going to go raid this lovely person. And I'm going to be an EP bird and go to bed.